what happens to us when we deal with a lot of childhood trauma. It can lead to our feelings of abandonment issues, reactivity, self-destructive behaviors, low self-esteem, anxiety, anger. It changes our view on if the world is safe or not safe. And I think that for Vi and Powder, dealing with this difficulty, one, it made them themselves against the world, and you can see that when Vi grips hold of Powder's hand. She's the one that's going to keep her safe. Children are mostly mimics. That's how they learn, but they're not on record all the time. When there's distress or trauma, our brains go to record mode. So that's because when there's a danger, it's most important for us to learn how should we deal with it. And for Vi, this moment with Vander punching his way to make sure that they're safe has a lasting impression on how she's gonna deal with issues and problems in her future.
Powder, look at me! What did I tell you?
That I'm ready.
That's right.
Vi does a really good job. One is she says, look at me. She wants to get her attention because she can tell that Powder is starting to cycle through feelings of doubt. The other piece is that she doesn't give her what she should think. She asks her, what did I tell you? So that Powder says it herself, so that she can impart the feeling of belief that she can do this. And you can see that breath where she kind of tries to center herself and be able to do something because she wants to make her big sister proud.
Thanks.
Here Powder has done this huge jump. She almost falls off. Vi might have gotten some flack from people because she wasn't more enthusiastic and complimentary, but I actually like that she wasn't. She was saying, I knew that you would. It's not even that big of a deal. I believed in you the entire time. When a child hurts themselves, the first thing that they do is they look up at their parents to say, am I in danger? Should I be scared? And so Vi being calm and in control lets Powder feel that, you know what, I didn't almost die just now, which may have made her not want to jump the next time she needs to.
I ruined everything. I always do. I'm not a fighter.
You don't have to be. I've got these, and you've got those.
They never work.
They will.
We often want to be like the person that we look up to, and I love that Vi is doing her best to let Powder know that her uniqueness is her strength. That's what she brings to the table, and that she believes that even though they've made mistakes and even though they haven't worked yet, that they will. It's what makes the world an interesting place. If we were all the same, how boring everything would be.
That's where Clagger got his foot stuck running from enforcers. Milo tripped over his own paint bucket and nearly fell off trying to draw a giant middle finger. When I was a kid, some guy took my favorite toy and threw it up there.
That's so important. So she's saying that even these people that for Powder are larger than life, they've also made mistakes. And she doesn't just say it, which she could have. She brings her to a location, so she has actual sights and proof that these things have happened, which give so much more weight to Vi's words. It's good to know that they also have made mistakes and that it's okay that she does. That's how we all learn.
I used to come out here at night and stare at it, hoping maybe the wind or a bird might knock it down. We've all had bad days, but we learn.
Vi is also letting her know that she was also teased and bullied and had something that she couldn't do yet, which was get back her bunny. And when you look up to your big sister, to hear that she also was teased and treated poorly makes her feel like it's okay that it's happened to her as well because her sister has been able to handle it and she's survived, so she can too.
I made them for the enforcers. These are smoke bombs, and those two are full of nails. They're gonna work this time. I know it.
Me too. You know, Powder, what makes you different makes you strong. Always remember that, okay?
I love that Vi takes that moment to be able to look at the beautiful creatures that Powder's made. Vi knows to reinforce that and to say, you know what? I believe that they're gonna work also. I believe in you. And that beautiful touch to her face that Powder kind of like leans her head into, that warmth and tenderness, it's so important to us. Touch actually releases oxytocin. It makes us feel connected to each other. And isn't that our role as a parent? To help our children believe in themselves. And that's who Vi is to Powder, the one person that matters the most to her.
I need you to sit this one out, Powder. It's too dangerous.
But families stick together, you said it yourself.
I know what I said.
I want to fight, I can help.
You're not ready.
You can feel that Vi's anxiety starts to get the better of her, and she becomes reactive. She says something without thinking. You're not ready. Unfortunately, that's the exact opposite than what she's been trying to get her to feel comfortable and strong and ready. Sometimes when we're really frustrated or upset or stressed, our brains chemically shut down our working part of our memory, making us more narrow-minded and more reactive. We're not thinking about consequences to our actions. And that's what happens to Vi when she kind of just throws out this comment.
You're all I have left. I can't lose you.
She right away recognizes that she said something too harsh and she shouldn't have, and immediately softens.
Take this and run. Wherever you are, light it up and I'll find you. I promise.
Light this up and I will find you. But I don't think that she understands how strong Powder's abandonment issues are, how everyone else has died and left her and she doesn't want to be stuck there alone. Without anything to do, her brain's gonna spin. I wish that Vi had given her a job, something to do that she could have kept safe, but she could have felt like she was doing something important to be able to help the team so that she also was a contributing member, that she mattered and she was ready. But the job just might be different.
I told you to stay away!
No! Why did you leave me?
Because you're a jinx! Do you hear me? Milo was right.
I think that a lot of people, and I understand why people would come down so hard on Vi during this scene. I think that we also, though, need to recognize that she's a child of trauma and she's still just a young teen. Because of all of this trauma, when she gets really flooded and she's just lost another of her parents and Milo and Clagger, so she's going through an extremely traumatic situation, and then to find out that her sister was the one that caused it, her way of dealing with situations is to fight her way out of it. And so she became overwhelmed and did the wrong thing and said the wrong words because she's just too reactive. But she's still just a child.
No! Why did you leave me?
Because you're a jinx! Do you hear me? Milo was right.
Words matter. Every time you say something negative and call your child a name or lazy, stupid, a jinx, it imprints on them. They're learning from you who they are. Their formation of identity is directly related to how you see them. That's how they develop a self-perception. It starts out from outside and the people that we look up to the most. And that's why you have to be really careful what you say. And remember, we're recording mostly in times of trauma. So the hard thing is that when you're doing your best, really what you say doesn't matter that much. And when you're at your worst, everyone's recording it and it does matter.
Vi, come back! Please come back! Please, Vi!
And Vi just wanted to take a break. She's realized that she's too flooded, she's too upset, and usually that is the right thing to do. Vi, her attachment type is avoidant. When she's stressed and upset, she becomes quiet and she wants to leave and be alone. She needed to calm down. She needed to take a moment so her anxiety levels will lower so that she's not going to say or do something else that might be the wrong thing. Versus Powder's attachment type, which is anxious. So she talks a lot. She needs someone. She's in a lot of distress when she's alone.
I'll kill you if he hears you. Come on, let's go.
And what a horrible thing that she's dragged away when she tries to rescue her sister. She knows that now her sister is going to believe that she abandoned her and abandoned her probably blaming herself because of trying to rescue them and everything going awry.
Wherever you are, light it up, and I'll find you.
I love this scene. I love it because Jinx has kept this entire time because she believes that her sister will come. She has hope. This shows how strong a bond, even though she's left her when she was really young. She still holds on to that hope that this parental role model, the person that she looks up to more than anyone in the world, will come back for her. The entire time when I was watching the scene, I'm like, please let Vi see it. I will be so heartbroken if she does not. When something is told to us as a child, we really believe it as canon. We don't even question it. And she's held on to this belief all these years. Please make sure that if you say, I promise to do something, do it, because they're listening and their trust in you is paramount. So if you're not sure that you're going to be able to follow through, don't say that you're going to promise. But if you promise, make sure that you do it. And parents' relationship with their child is how their child builds that foundation of trusting the world and the people in it, or not trusting the world and those that are in it.
Powder? Vi? Oh, Powder!
I love that hug. And you see Jinx drop the hex stone. Her sister is more important to her than this mission. This is what she's been waiting for. And I love that sweet, tight hug. And Jinx's face this entire time has been angry or worried or in distress. And you see this genuine softness come back over her when she's finally found her sister. And she did come back for her.
I'm so sorry, Powder. I tried to come back. I promise I did, but I got arrested. It doesn't matter. I never thought I'd see you again.
And Vi does a great job right away. She says all of the things that she needs to tell Jinx. She lets her know, hey, I'm sorry. I tried to come back for you. I didn't mean to abandon you. You are all that has mattered to me this entire time.
Things changed when you left. I changed. I know. Pow Pow, I know. You did what you had to do to survive. Me too.
For Jinx, she wants to let her sister know. We're always worried when there's been a long time that we haven't seen anyone that we're gonna disappoint them, or if we've changed, they're not gonna like who we've changed into. And for Jinx, she's worried that her sister is not only not gonna like her, but possibly not like her so much and all of the things that she's done that maybe she will abandon her again. Vi does a lovely job of saying, we both have, and I understand, and you had to do what you had to do, and all that matters is that we're back together.
She's a friend. You're with an enforcer? Caitlin, just listen. We can work this out. This is a trick! Powder, it's okay. Stop calling me that!
And so Vi sees that Powder's getting really agitated, and she softens her voice and tries to make her calm down. Now, I'm not going to deal with the different voices and images that Jinx sees. I'm going to handle that separately in her own video because I think it's just too much for this. But she sees that she's in distress, and so she wants to let her know that everything's going to be okay so the situation doesn't escalate into something really dangerous.
It's Jinx now. Powder fell down a well.
You're not a Jinx. God, I never should have.
Stop talking to me like I'm a child! Was that why you came? For this stupid stone?
And now she sees those words that she said in anger, how they have influenced her sister, so much so that she blames herself for her changing her identity.
You're a class act, sister.
Powder! I'm here for you. Only you. You can fire that thing if you want, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to abandon you again.
And I love it. I love that even when she's being threatened, this time she was really awesome and calm. She moved it out of the way and said, it doesn't matter. I don't care what you do. I'm not leaving you. And then she does that touch again, that really important moment where she's reaching out to connect with her sister. And right away when she touches her, you can see her sister soften again. That feeling soothes her. Vi soothes her. And I love it. I love it that they just had a fight. There was all this turmoil, but when push comes to shove and there's a danger, there they are, back to back, fighting together like a team. They trust each other. They're gonna make sure that they're gonna get through this together. I think that that happens a lot, that even if I'm teasing and bugging my little brother, someone else messes with them, I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna take care of them. And that's what happens. And so I wish that we had more moments where I got to see Jinx and Vi fighting together, because it was so very cool. Not therapeutic, but it was so cool. Vi gets a little bit of a look of how her little sister has grown up, and grown up to be a deadly fighter. And I think that she's so brutal in her actions, it actually scares Vi a little bit.
Go!
I think this is another one of those scenes that people are really frustrated with Vi. Why did she have to take Caitlin? Why couldn't Echo take Caitlin? They're the ones that had planned it. This leaves a lot of risk that Echo might get hurt, or so might her sister. She also has been waiting 5 years to see her. Shouldn't she be the one that stays with her and makes sure that she's safe and calm? Vi gets so flooded. She's just seen people die, and then the reason that she leaves is, one is that Echo gives her this order, just do it, and she's really reactive, and so she just does what she's told. But also, in times of stress, her words aren't there, and she knows that her sister is really angry at her, and so instead of dealing with it and confronting it, she walks away. Even if she had said to her sister, I just have to do something, I'm coming back, or explain to her what was happening, I think that that would have been better for their relationship, because for Jinx, this is her getting abandoned all over again.
Silco thinks he made Jinx, but he didn't make Jinx. You did.
I'm sorry, Powder. I never meant to leave you.
It's hard when we hear that we've made a mistake that has forever altered someone else.
You never left. I always heard you. Your voice pushing me, picking me up. You're the reason I'm still alive.
But I think that it's really beautiful what Jinx says. She's really telling her that you were a positive voice. You were the voice in the darkness that told me to get back up, to fight, to be stronger. She had a lasting impact, and though, yes, it created Jinx, it also kept her strong and kept her alive when nothing else did. It's like this bittersweet, beautiful moment between the both of them.
I spent so many nights in that prison on that freezing floor, hungry, bloody, counting the hours. The only thing that kept me going was the thought of getting back to you.
And that's also really important. Vi let her sister know that you also were what kept me going. I never meant to abandon you. All I thought about was you. I think that especially when we haven't seen someone for a long time, those doubts kind of come back to us. And so it's really healing for us to know that it wasn't true. We really were cared about and cherished. Unfortunately, there was so much time that she was alone, that those negative voices were stronger than the voices of hope.
Make her go away, and you can have Powder back.
I can't.
For Jinx, she sees Caitlin as this rivalry. This is the person, one, she's an enforcer, so she worries that she could harm her, but also she's the person that Vi left her for on the bridge, so she sees her as the person that she might get abandoned for again. And then she makes this offer. I'll give you Powder back. She can't. She's changed and become someone else, but she's willing to say that. She wants so much for her sister to prove that she picks her.
Powder! Wake up! Remember who you are and picture Milo! Powder!
Stop.
Vander!
Shut up! Don't listen to her!
Yes!
So for Vi, when she sees that Jinx is going into this really negative space, Vi wants to help her snap out of it, and so she's trying to inspire her. These people that she's shouting their names of, for Vi, they're loving and happy memories, but you can see that for Jinx, they are not. This reminds me of her story of the monsters that get bigger and bigger. Milo and Clagger, these are her negative voices. These are her fears. These are the people that haunt her. She says, please stop, but Vi doesn't hear it because she's so reactive. She's in this moment and she's doing what she can with the limited tools that she has in hopes of being able to reach Powder. But she isn't Powder anymore. Vi isn't noticing that she's getting overloaded and flooded by all of these memories. They're making her anxiety worse, not better. Yes, you were all right. I do believe that Silco noticed it, and that's when he struggled. It wasn't just that he was worried about losing her. He saw her in distress, and that made him want to stop Vi. And then you see her metaphorically becoming smaller and smaller as these monsters become bigger and bigger until she's curled up in a fetal position, tiny and alone.
Powder, we'll be okay. I thought maybe you could love me like you used to, even though I'm different, but you changed too. Here's to the new us.
Even in the end, Vi doesn't say Jinx. She still calls her Powder, and it showed Jinx that she didn't fully accept her as who she was. When Jinx stated that I had hoped that you could love me for who I am now, you can see that Vi again, she's breathing heavy, she's flooded, she doesn't know what to say. She's good with fighting her way out of it. She's good with action. She's not great with using her words. And so because of that, she leaves this moment where she allows her sister to believe that she wasn't truly loved, which I fully do not believe that Vi meant to do. But again, was in a very stressful situation and almost shot, and her sister was so upset, and her good friend Caitlin is on the floor, and she was just so flooded that she didn't have the words to say anything. It leaves her sister to walk off, feeling again that she was abandoned. So that was my take on Vi and Jinx. Let me know, did I miss a scene that was your favorite scene? And who should I do next? Should it be Jinx Act 2 or Victor? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, please hit subscribe.